What's up, YouTube? This is Felix. Now, there's a lot of discussion around the worst movie ever made. You got The Room, Troll 2, the new War of the Worlds. Hilarious movie, by the way. Go check that out. But there's not as much discussion about the worst show ever made. But I think I found it. And while Glee is a close second, I think the worst show ever made is a little show called Word World. I was one of those kids that grew up watching PBS Kids. All my friends were talking about their Cartoon Network and Disney Channel shows, whatever. I was talking about Word Girl, Electric Company, Wild Kratts. When I was a kid, I wanted to be on Fetch with Ruff Ruff Man so bad. Also, just a little tangent. I rewatched an episode of Electric Company recently just to, see if the nostalgia held up. And I was watching this, I was like, this seems very, Lin-Manuel Miranda core. It seems like something he would do. And then guess who freaking shows up to do a rap about Silent E, but the old LMM himself. So, I clocked that one.
He turned my plane into a plane. Silent E is a ninja. Where'd he go?
But there's one show on PBS Kids that always bothered me, and this show was Word World. If you haven't seen it before, basically, it's this world where everything is made up of these block letters. Pretty much every object. Buildings, even the characters. The only things that aren't are things that are difficult to animate, like each individual blade of grass isn't made out of letters. But pretty much everything is. Like I said, the characters are all made out of letters, and the characters are all anthropomorphic animals. We got sheep and pig and duck, etc. Whenever the characters want to make something, they put the letters together. This music starts playing.
Let's build a word! It's time to build a word! Let's build it! Let's build it now!
They sound out each part of the word.
H-A-T.
Push them all together, the letters pop up and form the object. And then a bunch of children collectively shout the word.
Hat!
The objects can also be broken back into letters, and the letters can be repurposed to make other things. Seems like it's a fun little show, it teaches kids about how to spell, just harmless stuff. Wrong. There are so many problems with the logistics of this universe. First thing is these letters. Actually, all of the things are about these letters. But the first thing, where do they come from? Do they occur naturally? Are they manufactured? Is there a limited amount of letters? Are the letters used as currency? Less frequent letters are worth more, a Z is worth more than an E. And is the worth of the objects based on the letters? Something like a xylophone would be worth more because it's got some rare letters and it's longer. Or are the objects, is it just the worth of the letters? You're not really buying an object from somebody, you just want to be able to use those letters. I don't know. If the letters are currency, I guess that would make a dog like Scrooge McDuck because he has a swimming pool full of letters that he just swims in for some reason. When the letters form an object, they'll change size and change mass too. What are these things? What are they made of? Are they nanotech? They can also use the letters to make food, which is edible. So are the letters edible, or are they only edible in food form? When the food's in their digestive system, did they hear the music start and they hear a faint voice from within their stomach? S-H-I-T. Sorry, that was a stupid joke. But anyways, does that mean the animals eat the same thing that they're made out of? Technically, we do that too on an elemental level, but I don't know, it still seems kind of weird. Do the letters transmutate into food or whatever object they're becoming? Pretty much none of these questions are really addressed. One of the craziest things that these letters can do is they create sentient life. These animals can talk and they speak English for some reason, except dog doesn't speak. that's almost weirder that he's the only one that doesn't talk. I don't know why. It's kind of insane that these letters can actually create sentient life, right? Like, what happens if one of the animals, like, breaks up into their letters? Like, let's take sheep, for example. If we, like, sheep breaks and it's just individual letters, is she dead? If I put the letters back together, is she back to normal, or is it, like, a new person? In some of the animals, there's, like, multiple of them from the same letters. So, like, is there conscience from the specific letters? Like, if sheep got broken up and I swap out one of her E's for a different E, would she still be the same sheep? Would she be slightly different? Like a ship of Theseus type thing? I don't know. And who formed the first animal? The intro sequence leads us to believe dog was the first animal, because he goes around forming all the other ones. He's sort of the Adam of this world. But then who created dog? Wait a second. If we flip the letters around, G, A, D. Interesting. Is there a god in this universe? Is it the narrator guy who's like kind of omniscient and like also communicates with the animals?
Nice costume, sheep.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, probably. But why? What is his purpose? What is he trying to do? I don't know. I don't trust this guy. Probably the biggest question I have about these letters is, how do they know? How do they know what to do? How do they know what to form? How do they know what the animals want specifically from those letters? Like, there's one episode in specific that I want to address. It's called One Hat Fits All. And at the beginning of the episode, Sheep makes this hat. She forms out of HAT, and it makes a magician hat because she's trying to do a magic act. And it's even got like holes for her ears so she can put it on. But then the hat flies away, and it breaks back into the letters HAT, and Pig finds it, and he puts it together, and it makes a chef's hat. The exact same black letters makes a chef's hat. And then that floats away. Duck finds it, and he makes out of the letters a little propeller hat, which honestly is kind of awesome. But it flies away again, and then the three of them meet together, and they're arguing over whose hat it is, and they realize that the same letters are making three different hats. Even at some point, the narrator even comments on how weird this is.
That's strange.
What's strange?
That's not a magician's hat. That's a chef's hat.
And Duck says, I think it's a magic hat, because it made different hats depending on what we wanted it to be.
When you put the letters together, it makes any kind of hat you want. I mean, that sounds like magic to me.
And Sheep's like, no.
It's not the hat that's magic. It's the word hat.
Words are magical because they mean different things to different people, which is kind of a cool lesson for kids. But what does that mean for the letters? Are the letters magic? Are the letters sentient? I don't know. I don't like the implications of that. Okay, there's one more episode that I want to talk about. This is called Pies. And in this episode, Pig wants to make pies for everyone in Word World, but he eats all of them. And now they only have one set of PIE left. So they can only make one more pie. But Dog comes along with an S. And so they tack the S at the end of the pie, and it produces like a dozen pies, each with their own PIE. What? How did that happen? I remember watching this as a kid. I'm just being like dumbfounded at like that this was even a possibility. Like, where did those letters even come from? They were just like produced via mitosis or something? You can do that? What if there's something where like the plural is the same as the singular? Like sheep, for example. What if I wanted to make multiple sheep? How would it know if I wanted one or plural? And for that matter, how does it know how many? Because it made like a dozen pies. It made like one for everybody there. How do they know? How do they do anything? It doesn't make any freaking sense. I feel like I'm going crazy. And yes, it is that serious. Alright. Like, I know I've been hating on this show, but you know, it's a fun show for kids. It teaches them how to spell, you know, fun characters, stories, whatever. It doesn't make a lot of logistical sense. And like, even as a kid watching this, it bothered me. But I finally got my chance to rant about the The show made for little kids. Well, thank you for watching. This is probably going to be a shorter video. I've been kind of busy with other stuff going on, and I'm working on a bigger project that'll probably come out within the next month or two. So stay tuned for that. And if you like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.